The latest. Thank you for your love and support. I appreciate you all. Our all in all, the Savior, the Protector, the Unifier, the Messiah, the King of Kings, the most loved. Captain Ibrahim Traore has officially declared war on the people who have decided not to be free and to be a hindrance to those who want to fight for freedom. According to him, they are willing to crush anybody. They wouldn't have any mercy for the people who have decided that they will stand on the way of the revolution that we are seeing in Burkina Faso, that they have come out boldly to fight for their motherland, homeland or death. And if these people who have decided to be a hindrance to this fight and this revolution come their way, because these people are there to make sure that Africa do not move forward. These are the people that are making sure we are always where we are, because they have sacrificed themselves in the dark skin to be used to fight for the hindrance of the continent. When these people are doing everything in their power to continue with the legacy of their forefathers, we have decided to fight against the legacy of our forefathers. According to Captain Ibrahim Traore, we should never deceive ourselves that there is a nation that has developed under democracy. That democracy, as we say, this one has the right to speak, another person has the right to speak, that at the end of the day ends up in chaos. And we know that democracy, as we claim we have practiced for decades, we have never seen any nation in Africa that developed under democracy. It's because of this democracy that Africa has been set backwards. We can never develop with any systems that these people created. They left us with this system so that even in their absence, the colonialism that they started in Africa will continue to run. Now they have gatekeepers who are our leaders that are always making sure that the mercenaries, the yellow pawpaw that were here with their guns, making sure whatsoever orders that they give them from wherever they come from will continue, is what our African leaders are not doing. And that is the reason to which, even when Mali, Niger and Burkina Faso have seen the way to freedom and they are fighting for freedom, these other ones living in the democratic elected are fighting our brothers everything possible to give us the freedom, because you can never be under the systems of the oppressor and still have a way to free yourself.
Today is April 1st, which marks the beginning of the second quarter of the year 2025, and of course the end of the first quarter. I suppose that all the office heads, department heads have been able to review the first quarter and also set goals for the second quarter. In any case, I think that the idea is to sacrifice oneself, to always give the best of oneself for the happiness of our people, and so that our homeland can shine. So I invite everyone to set new goals for the second quarter, to give the best of themselves, both in service and in everyday life, so that our homeland can continue to shine. As for the different fighting forces on the ground, I want to pay tribute to them here for the exceptional work that has been done throughout the past quarter. We have been able to make significant progress on the ground. We have been able to reclaim areas that were under control, terrorist control, 4 or 5 years ago. We have thus been able to liberate these areas. Other areas are currently in the consolidation phase. This is therefore a very significant progress. But also to call upon the other forces in these areas, which are in a relative calm, to remain vigilant and on constant watch. Because the treachery of the enemy means that when we are in a relative calm and let our guard down, we can often take hits. So, it is to invite all those who are in a position of relative security to always remain vigilant and not be caught off guard. And to the other forces, living for the nation, it is to invite all workers to double their efforts so that 2025 is a year crowned with success at all levels. And as for the general populace, I would invite people to be vigilant, because today more than ever the stateless, the enemies of the nation, are very active, and you will be able to see it. On the side of the lagoon, they have been gathering for several days. Their objective is to make Burkina Faso relive the events of 1987. We forget, therefore, that times have changed, and we are all on high alert. We are waiting for them firmly, their mercenaries and their actions. And I want to say it, we will be ruthless. They can continue to dream, but Burkina will move forward. And that is why, since Zinyari, the last time, I invite everyone to be very vigilant, not to fall for manipulation. As you can see, their actions boil down to disinformation, manipulation, subversion. Everyone must therefore remain calm with the objective in mind to avoid being misled. Because we will also be unsympathetic to those who allow themselves to be manipulated. Only those who are greedy, those who want everything for themselves, can be manipulated by these stateless individuals. Let's stay focused. And if we need to say it loud and clear here, we are not in a democracy. We are indeed in a revolution, progressive, popular. Everyone needs to understand that. And it's even more surprising that those who are supposed to be the intellectuals who went to school. One might imagine that a country can develop in democracy. That's false. When you cite a single country that developed in democracy, it's not possible. Democracy is only the culmination. You inevitably go through a revolution, and we are indeed in a revolution. For those who hadn't understood, we say it again, loud and clear. Everyone needs to internalize this. And our role to communicate, to explain, to make people understand what our revolution is, we will continue to play it. So, this question of democracy or libertinism, of action or expression, has no place. I said it once, as much as you think you are free to speak and act, the other is also free to speak and act. And there, we end up with a society of disorder. And as it happens, it is fitting that we are in the midst of celebrating patriotic days. The theme is indeed order and discipline. We do not make a revolution in disorder. It is impossible an order. We are going to establish order and discipline so that we can progress, because social, economic, political, ideological reforms need order and discipline, and everyone has a role to play in this. So, embrace the revolution, because many people for the past 2 years have boarded the ship out of opportunism. We are surfing on giant waves. We are in the storm. We are facing very strong headwinds. And those people, they will never be able to stay in the boat. Gradually, they will fall into the water and you will see them. But we will continue, because our goal is to find calm waters and be able to navigate. When we leave the storm for calm waters, I think that we will surf without any problem. So, invite everyone to be vigilant, because the enemy has recruited. And he is still recruiting traitors. Just a few days ago, traitors were arrested. And whom I call a traitor are those among us who continue to work as agents for embassies of imperialist countries established in Burkina Faso. Some have been arrested, and we will continue to unmask others. They are there in our administration, they are there in civil society organizations, they are there in political organizations, and they manipulate others to lead them down paths that are, in any case, contrary to the progress of our homeland. And it is when we arrest them that we realize they indeed are agents of these countries, embassies of these imperial countries, also established in Burkina. Let's stay vigilant, because our revolution does not please many people. It's Valéry Locoé and his sub-prefects who are there executing the orders of their masters. Believing they can put an end to our revolution, let them understand that we have taken all the measures. And I say it once again, we will be ruthless and without remorse towards those who think they can stand in the way of the development of our homeland. We will continue our revolution. We will develop our infrastructure, whether in health, education, or road infrastructure. We will develop our industry, transform what we want, and consume what we have transformed. Burkina will shine. Despite those who are still nostalgic for the year 87, I repeat. So stay focused, stay vigilant, set your paths for the coming quarter and for the rest of the year. And we will therefore remain on this path to victory. We will continue to fight on the ground to reclaim our various areas. I can assure you that the progress made the territories reclaimed in this first quarter are of strategic importance. And this has allowed us to establish ourselves up to the border, and that is very remarkable. We will continue in this direction zone by zone, step by step, to clear the territory and reclaim the entirety of our country. Thank you all. Have a good week. And good luck for the quarters that are beginning. Be those who also convey our ideology within, therefore, the popular masses. Thank you. Have a very good day, everyone. And may God bless our dear homeland. The homeland or death we shall overcome.
Until we get a revolution in Africa, like what we are seeing in Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso, for us all to team up and fight for the liberation of the continent, we will never make a headway. These people are everywhere. In every area of Burkina Faso, these yellow pawpaw have planted their people among these people, and these people are traitors who don't see the reason to which they should rather protect their motherland but rather give it out to somebody who is also fighting to protect his. Who has done this to the African? And when other people have sacrificed their lives to lead the fight for the freedom, we are the same people who sit down, take chicken change, then fight those who are giving us the same thing that we are yearning for. What is wrong with us? It is because we are having democracy. That is why our water bodies are destroying. That is why Galamsey is destroying the water bodies, and all that we do is to go and stand there and be praying when we have to speak truth to power and tell them what they are doing is wrong. But rather we will be praying because we know that this wouldn't take us anywhere, and this is in the interest of yellow pawpaw. So for that matter, all the politicians have to be mute to make sure what is happening keep happening. But under what we are seeing, the revolution we are seeing in Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso, all these things can never happen. Our people are sitting in parliament, ECOWAS meeting, and all they think about is bringing Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso back into the ECOWAS bloc and back into constitutional rule. Yet the things that they are doing that are good, that we have to emulate to make sure we use their models to fight for the land, we don't see those ones. All that matters is, what are we going to do to please yellow pawpaw? Yellow pawpaw is always the focal point of the African, instead of the African fighting for his freedom. All those who have risen and vow that they will never help us to fight for the continent, and when we are doing everything possible to safeguard the continent, and they are still there to make sure they will become a hindrance, it's high time Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso devise a means of dealing with all these traitors, just like yellow pawpaw was doing to us. Enough of this. All that the Africans think about is today, is their stomach. If other people thought of that, today you and I will still be in the ships crossing the Atlantic Ocean every blessed day. If you don't know what freedom is, other people understand what freedom is. And as he rightfully said, they will never allow such people like you who do not understand what freedom is to be a hindrance to the fight of our freedom. We want to be free. And if you enjoy to be slaves, allow these people to carry you out of the African continent, keep you where they are, so that you continue to be working in the plantation. Look at the education they've given to us, the health and everything. All these things are never there for the African. And we will fight, as he said, to develop in every area. And whoever will stand on the way of our freedom and this revolution, we will never allow that person to have his or her way out. We are willing and ready to fight to save our motherland, homeland or death. United we stand, divided we fall, and united we keep standing forever and ever. The greatest enemy of the African is mental slavery. So let's decolonize ourselves from mental slavery. Let's keep sharing to educate our brothers and sisters. Together we make Africa great for ourselves and the next generations that are going to come. So that's the latest around the world, in Africa, West Africa, and in Burkina Faso.